one of the most common aspects that investors look at when they invest in the stock market is actually the cost of transaction. Cost is definitely an aspect that a lot of investors look at when they start to invest in the stock market, and recently the boom of online trading provides a very low-cost alternative to investors to access to the market. As a comparison, if you look at it, generally they can be as low as even 12 ringgit per transaction, or some even go as low as less than 10 ringgit per transaction. On the other hand, if you look through the traditional channel, we usually go to these people called the remisers to actually execute trade. Now, if you look at the comparison, what you have on the table, either you invest through online where you execute the trade yourself, or you go through remisers. Who are remisers? Remisers are actually the middlemen, the people that actually help you to execute the trade. For example, if you want to buy a company, say for instance telecom, you can either go online, key in the trade yourself, choose the execution price that you want, and send. Or alternatively, if you have a remiser, all you need to do is just pick up the phone call your remiser, tell him that you want to buy telecom, and he will execute the trade for you. Now, a lot of us tend to look at cost in terms of purely on transaction costs. If you compare with remiser usually charge around 0.6% of the value of the trade. Whereas if you look at online, it can even go as low as even 0.1% of the trade. So we're talking about a huge differences. You're looking at a difference of 0.5 percentage points. But there are other hidden costs. The risk for investors or first-time investors that come to the market using online directly is that you don't have a guiding hand. Stock market can be quite tricky. If you engage a remiser, it may actually cost you more in terms of per transaction cost. But on the other side of it is that you have an experienced person to guide you through what is happening in the market. Say for instance, if you hear a very hot stock that everybody in the blogs are talking about and you wanted to buy it, well, if you do online, it's very easy for you. You can just follow the excitement, just key in the trade, hit the send, and participate in it. But assuming if you have a remiser, and the remiser is a very experienced person, he may give you some advice on whether should you participate or not, or if that is already overheated or is really too speculative. So that is actually the value of what remisers actually brings on the table. It is actually an additional advice so that we can rethink about our decision. So my advice to investors is that when you look at costs, don't look at just purely the transaction cost, because though the transaction cost for online could be low, but the overall cost will be actually much higher than engaging with a remiser.